I'm a village elder from Meru. And there are some men there who we call Kiraitu, which means in English, tell your mother. Yeah, why? Yeah, because when children have been asked to go home and come back with the pencil, they find a mzee sitting there, and the child says, tumeambiwa na mwalimu tununue kalamu. Ambia mama, tell your mother. Tunaenda school trip, maybe Naivasha or Mombasa. The mzee says, ambia mama yako, tell your mother. So this man is sitting there, and his job is just to tell the child, tell your mother. So those are the men who are called Kiraitu, because they are doing nothing. And when we meet, I'm up, I saw a Catholic priest here. Yeah, when we meet some religious leaders there, they tell us how special we are as men, because there's something we share with God. The title of Father. In the Bible, God is referred to as the Father. And that's the title we share with God. There is no woman, whether a professor, even a president, or wherever, who will ever be called a father. So it is only men who can share that title, with God. And they tell us this is a heavy responsibility that God has placed in our hands, and we should not surrender it. So we shouldn't, be the ministers, for our families, for our children, and that's the role that has been ordained to us. So don't let go down by surrendering these responsibilities. Sorry, that's not what I'm always in trouble with women. Let me stop there. Let me tell you about happiness. Now, I know we all come from different professions. I've seen doctors here, lawyers, rich people, owners of property, young people with high ambitions, and such, and that's okay. Yeah, but we are all united in one thing. Every person you see in this world, the boss, the messenger, etc., we are all struggling to make our lives happier. We are all seeking to improve our lives. Even those who are looking for money, the whole purpose, why would you want the money for? You want to make your life, happier. Even my brother who was speaking here, who is empowering others, he also want to make himself and those others happier. So happiness is a universal human aspiration. And indeed the UN has recognized it as such, because on the 20th of March every year, we celebrate the International Day of Happiness, in the world. And there are some countries which are ahead, which have ministers for happiness, even UAE, and companies in Google, they have happiness officers. And even here in Kenya, you go to CMC, they have a happiness officer there, because they have discovered that for the company to make money, for the people to be productive, they have to be happier. So you take care of the person, and indeed, money, profits, and all that will come as a byproduct, because the happy employee will not be looking at the watch. They love the flow, at the place of work. I know part of the reason why we are here is to see this property and, see the opportunities which are here. So we want to thank those who are developing this wonderful place here. And I believe out of talking to some of us, just we'll be happy to build good homes here. Which is fine. Big homes, big cars, lot of money is okay. It gives you security. Indeed, the same money, even if you are not using it. I was in my banker here, our Absa bank. Yeah? Sometimes we put money there, which we don't even withdraw. Because having money in the bank gives you good sleep. Because you know that even if you meet these surprises in life, like what we're being told by our friend here, you got a call about somebody who has passed on. Yeah, some money will be required. So with the money in the bank, you know you can handle any eventuality, things which might come. So it's going through for that money, it's going through for, and even feel good when you're driving big cars. But my brothers and sisters, sorry, there are no sisters here, my brothers and brothers. So I want to tell you that those things you are looking for will give you security. They'll give you good sleep. But there's a limit. They don't give you happiness. Because happiness does not come from material things. Happiness comes from the social universe. If you are given 1 billion shillings and left alone with that money in the center of Mount Kenya, maybe without fire, that will be very useless. If somebody offers you fire instead or some food, you can surrender that money or the entire 1 billion for a loaf of bread. You'll be there for some time. So manners, without other people, is useless. Or you have PhDs. You studied hard, you got a PhD, but you are the only person. You are alone. You are kept in a room without anybody else. That PhD is going to be useless. What makes PhD useful is because Kiraitu and the others are around to admire you because you have a PhD. Or people think you are great. Yeah? So it is other people who make all these other things meaningful. So it is other people who make the money worth. Even if you build that big house which you are likely to build here, and nobody comes to visit you, nobody sees that you have a big house, do you know it is a useless investment? Yeah, so what am I saying? What I'm saying is that the real source of happiness is from human connections at the end of the day. It is not wrong to look for property and other things, but don't forget that your happiness will come when you use those things with other friends and such things. Okay. It's not easy to define happiness. I think you have heard Lumumba saying, you don't find food, but you eat it every day, isn't it? Yeah, so many things that are important in your life. Even love, you don't start to define it before you fall in love. You just find yourself in it. So even happiness, we say we enjoy ourselves, but there are some things which people think is happiness, but it's not. You have heard this Maisha no Maya, isn't it? Friday, Members' Day. Yet you've been stressed over the week, then one day, at the end of the week, you rush to Mbas to go and be happy. But the following morning, you have such headache that you are terribly unhappy. I've seen some young men here. Yeah, you can get that beautiful girl in your neighborhood, have fleeing with her for 5 minutes, and then something happens, and all your life you carry a burden. Yeah, those 5 minutes make you unhappy. The rest of, the rest of your life. And then, okay, I'm telling you things which have happened to me also. I'm about, sometimes I think, man, I go to UK, I go to a factory, and they own a car. And, you come here, opening the window to see whether anybody can see whether you're the one in the car. Sometimes that has happened because it's the driver. We're driving the car, not you. So the people will be thinking it's the driver who owns the car. But also, after you have it for 2 or 3 months, it ceases to become, you don't even remember that you have it. You have that, what we call the new shoe effect. Yeah, you take time shopping, buy very nice shoes, but 3-4 weeks later, you don't even remember you are wearing these shoes. So when we are looking for happiness, we are not looking for these short-term thrills, things which will come and go. We are looking at long-term happiness. We are looking at contentment with life, satisfaction, and fulfillment in life on a long-term, basis. It might not be very exciting, but really that's what gives you happiness. When you are contented with your life, when you look back and you feel, you are satisfied with what you have done. I play golf. The feeling you get after you play, maybe you got a par, that's what makes you happy. You can't have it before you play. You have it after, after you play. Now, you have to be told I went to school to study happiness, and happiness is a branch of positive psychology. And they say the traditional psychology deals with psychosis, deals with the psychological disorders, anxiety, depression, and all that. Positive psychology deals with the other side of it, whereas traditional psychology asks you what is wrong. The positive psychology asks you what is right, and then they try to build on the strengths of what is right. So here we focus more on joy, pleasure, and happiness, and see how we can increase it, in your life, because it's also a way of inoculating you against the other disorders that we are talking about. Now, at the Happiness Studies Academy, I think I'm the only certified happiness trainer in Kenya. I know there are many life courses, but for happiness, I pride myself as being the only one. We have been given a framework which you can use and follow to make your life happy or happier. It is not our business to make you happy. Nobody can make you happy. It is only yourself who can make yourself happy. So we just show you a roadmap. We say ukifuata hii barabara unaweza kuwa na furaha huko mbele. So it is not for me, and I'm not responsible for making you happy. I'm responsible for my own happiness. You should be responsible for your own. So the Happiness Studies Academy has developed a framework based on 5 pillars, which you can organize your life, and if you do so, you can be happy. You don't have to follow it religiously. I think there is the 10 commandments, because human beings are different. Something might be good for you, which works for you, and does not work for somebody else. And these are the ones. We call it the SPIRE model. S-P-I-R-A. The S stands for spiritual. When we talk about spirituality, many people think we are talking about religion. Religion, yes, can be spiritual, but you go beyond that. Spirituality means finding meaning and purpose in your life. It means doing things that you really love, things that you care about, things that you are passionate about. They may not be things you read in school or where you're working now. Could be totally different. I always give the example of Professor Wangari Maathai. Professor Wangari Maathai was trained as an animal scientist. In her PhD, it was in animal genetics. But what gave her the Nobel Prize were trees, environment, things she had not read about in school. But that is where her heart was. You saw her fighting with the police at Karura Forest, carrying plants wherever she was. So I could say Professor Wangari Maathai was very spiritual about the environment. So you can be spiritual about, you can even be spiritual about banking, if that is where your heart is. So we are told to follow your heart. Follow the things you really want to do, not what your parents have told you to do, not what society expects you, what you yourself internally, what gives you the fire, what makes you wake up willingly every morning. That's what is spiritual. 2, you are told to be mindful. Pay attention. There are very many wonderful things in this world, but because you are not paying attention, you can't see them. An example is given, again from the, love world. You Miss Kenya passes through here, and you are looking the other side. Can you see her? Can you know there was a Miss Kenya? So many of us are just living on autopilot. You are not spending time to see the beauty, which is around you. The flowers in your compound, the birds which are singing there, appreciate the nature, the things which God has given you. Then doctor, I can't talk like him about the physical well-being. That is the P. Physical well-being just simply means taking care of yourself. Yeah, you have to be there. You are the most important thing. I went for a seminar in China where we were told to write 1. Then after 1, you are told to write 0. They say, what do you want to become? We say, I want to be a president. Say, you are told to write 0. You want to be a millionaire, told write 0. You want to own many cars, write 0. You want to own an aeroplane. So you can write as many zeros as possible. All the wishes that you might want in your life. And then they tell us, cross the 1. The 1 is you. So if you cross the 1, you have even 12 or 13 zeros. But what is the answer? They are 0, isn't it? So without you, everything else you are thinking about in this world is 0. Are we sure? Are we together? And Dudo, you are not there. You cannot be the CEO of nation. Yeah? You are the priest. If he's not there, he can't be the parish priest where he is. So you have to be there as a person. You have to take care of yourself to be there, so that all these other things you want in life can follow. And that is what we are not paying attention to. We are managers. You are managing everybody, managing everything, but you are not in that mix. You are not managing yourself. And that is why you hear people on burnout and diabetes, whatever. Yeah. So you kill yourself so that you can serve others. Here we are told, love yourself, even before you love other people. Take care of yourself. Eat well. Do the exercises. And when we say exercises, we are not telling you to go to a gym. There are very many informal exercises. Your grandmother in the village, who is doing every day, is doing a lot of exercise. And that is why they don't have some of the challenges that we who are living sedentary lives have. There's a lot of confusion about food. You know, the doctor was telling us about carbohydrates. Others would tell you keep away from meat. So we are left confused. We don't know what to eat, what not to eat, because everything. There are so many experts. But actually some of them have discovered they are just driven by commercial interests. We have developed a product, so we come and get some medics who will give it, praise it, say it has vitamins, it will give you long life, and whatever. But there's a very simple theory about food. Eat as close to nature as possible. Yeah? Hata kama unaweza kupata chakula yako kutoka kwa shamba, get it. Haitakuwa na maneno mengi. The more sophisticated you are with the food, the more risks you are taking with yourself. Then you have to rest. You have to sleep well. I think the doctor told us that. Those are ways of taking care, of ourselves. And even when you work, you don't have to sit at your desk from morning until evening. Why don't you walk around the office, get out there, take fresh air, and come back? You don't have to wait until you go on holiday. Even a coffee break, taken many times, can be equivalent to some holiday. And then our third pillar, I, is the intellectual well-being. Human beings are rational beings. Even if you are given everything, and then you are not mentally stimulated, you cannot be happy. These animals, we put zero grazing. Take a human being, mweke kwa zero grazing. Mpatie chakula, mpatie maji, give him the best foods, whatever. But yeye peke yake, he does not interact. That man will be very unhappy, even with all the things in the world. But we are challenged. Happiness comes from curiosity. Yeah? Be curious, be open to new experiences. Interact with other people, read new books, watch movies. Those who can dance, dance. You carry happiness with you in your hearts. The mobile phone these days, the smartphones, there's a lot of entertainment there. Then why shouldn't you be sad when you have all this around you? So we are told, get curious, be open. There is a lot of happiness around you if you just pay attention, to it. I think some of you saw me in social media. Kabiru is our happiness officer. He puts us on TikTok and all these things. So I mean, some of you might have seen me riding an elephant in Cambodia. I had not been to that country before. And I normally go to Europe and America. But this time I decided, let me go to a country where I've never been. So I went there and it was one of my best experiences. I just decided to go there out of curiosity, out of adventure. So get out of where you are. Maybe some of you have not been to Marsabit. Some of you have not even been to other parts of Kenya. Every time, weekend ikifika unaingia kwa gari, unarudi kwa mlima. The country is much bigger than that. There's much more fun in this country. So open up your mind. You get some happiness by those interactions with other things. I think the fourth one, and which is most important, is simply this: other people matter. I told you happiness comes from the social universe, from the warm, uplifting, energizing relationships that we have with others. You don't have to go very far. Start at home, with your children, with your wife. I know we are there as men, but are we really there? Yeah. Sometimes you have gone home, you are catching up with this war which has arisen between Iran and Israel. Mzee anakuja tu kuambiwa chakula iko tayari. You are there, but your mind is in Israel. It is in Iran. Hata watoto hawajui kama, for you. In fact, another person telling us a cartoon, which his own daughter did, and it just showed him reading a newspaper. That's the father which the guy got to know. And then look at what you do at breakfast. Yeah, you have groomed yourself, taken a shower, then ran to wherever breakfast is set. Then at the breakfast, there's Daily Nation next to you. So even before you take a cup of tea, you're looking at the Daily Nation. Then before you sleep, Facebook. There are a lot of things happening there. So our minds are caught up. We don't even know exactly what we are drinking or eating, and you have even no time, because this should be occasions for people to chat, but we don't. So can you be more present in the relationship that you find yourselves in? There are many opportunities. I've just given you the example of home. At work, how are you relating with the people there? That's why you're spending 8 hours of your day. These are major opportunities to make friendships. Yeah, I was happy this man who was telling us how he talked to a messenger. Every person you see has something which you don't know. So, usifanye mondo sana, tunajua mambo mengi, nakuja na briefcase, ongea na watu. Make friends in the office, because these are the people you are spending time with. Are we together? And then from the office, si utapitia club pale. Yeah? One for the road. Even those are other opportunities for making friendships. The church. There are so many places. And that is where you find people who, when you get your PhD, these are the people you invite to come and celebrate with you. Are we together? Yeah? And then somebody is going to die, for sure. In this world, among you, all of you, I'm telling you, there will be grief in your own lives. If it has not come, iko njiani, inakuja. This is another eventuality in our life. So the friends you make are the ones who help you carry that burden of grief, when it comes. It lightens the road, that you. So friends are very, very important. When you are down and when you are up. And then sometimes it is not even these lectures that we are giving you like now, which make you happy. Gossip. Mkiongea vile mtu alionekana hapo kuvaa nguo vizuri, vile mama alipitia hapo, kila mtu akaangalia. This small talk which make people happy, and you don't engage that small talk with the strangers. You engage with the people, people who you know each other well, people who you can be vulnerable, about. So don't dismiss that small talk. These small things, these small joys, which makes life happy. Yeah. So even as you are flying high, also remember to fly low. Unfortunately for us, and I think it will happen both to you and me, I was lucky. I've been a minister, I've been a governor, I've been many things. When you're a minister, your phone rings. You can't even take phones from your friends, because the pressure which is put on you. Yeah? Sometimes you have to buy 2 or 3 phones, others are carried by your assistants. Then you are sacked. And then you stop being a minister. The phones stop ringing. The traffic you had, people coming to your home, your offices, you're invited everywhere, all those guys disappear. So I was telling people, there are friends who are not your friends. They are friends of the job, friends of the minister. They are not friends of Kiraitu Murungi. They are friends of governor, not friends of Kiraitu Murungi. Because when you leave those positions, those friends will go for the next, they will follow the job. Utabaki tu na wale watu mlikuwa nao primary school. Wengine people of your clan, that kind of stuff. So many of our friendships are transactional and they are transient. And please don't feel bad when people move on, because it is normal, it's natural. That's what happens. But be aware about it. Yeah. So what we need are real friendships. Even if there are 2-3 guys who you can wake up at night, keep them. And then friendships don't just happen. Relationships don't just happen. They have to be invested just the way you look for property. You have to invest your time, your energy, and even money in creating good relationships. Now, if my child from Batibaya ameitwa, I'm a good friend of mine, and these days tunaweka kwa mtandao. Yeah, we are fundraising, and then you're my friend, and I don't see you. Do you think the friendship will continue? So you need money even to keep the friendship moving, because people require. Others are arrested at night. Kopangani police station wameshikwa wakiwa walevi. You have to get out of your bed to go and rescue your friend from, and maybe pay some fine. So friendships are expensive, and they have to be invested in. You have to spend your time, your resources to maintain a friendship. That is very, very important. Finally, the question of emotions, and I'm happy you talked about them. The world is full of both positive and negative emotions. The other day we were talking about emotional hijacking. Emotional hijacking happens when you are swept out of your feet, you have not thought properly, and it can be positive or negative. Like 2 weeks ago, I almost sold my car because it cost me about 20-something thousand to go home. Then I found a friend, because we have a nice looking car, who told me it only cost him less than 10,000 to do the same journey like me. So I said I'll sell this car and buy one like. So it was just an emotional thing when he told me. But when I came to Nairobi and trying to check the details about this car and mine, I found that a much superior car. And people to be crazy to sell my car so that I can buy that car. Hata kupanda milima kwa hiyo gari iko na shinda. So that was emotional hijacking. But it can be the other way around. Even when you're told love at first sight, it's another emotional hijack. But it can also be the other way. Something has happened in the office, you are very angry, you want to sack that messenger, that moment, even without getting the full facts. And sometimes it happens. You come to regret later. So they say, when you feel either too happy or too sad, don't make a decision at that particular moment. There were those others who said, let us sleep over this matter. It is very, very, very sound, because you have regained your emotional composure later when you make those decisions. There will be pain and suffering. I think you told us, and for sure, life is not just joy and happiness. Every life is a mixture of both. In fact, they say there's a dichotomy that, good and bad, positive and negative. They are all parts of this life, and they happen in every life. So they say what you need to do is to manage the emotions and maybe psychologically inoculate yourself, because these things are going to come. And one thing is for sure, because there will be pain and suffering. Pain is not permanent. It only happens for a short time. Even when your dearest person dies, you don't mourn forever. You mourn for a few months. Over time, life moves on. Yeah, so you should understand, don't magnify it, don't extend it, just deal what it is. And finally, this life is complicated. Give yourself permission to be human. There are many things you never understand. There will always be some confusion, things that you can never really resolve. And you're told, when you find yourself in those emotional knots that you cannot untie, just relax. Let things sort themselves out. They say even when water is too muddy and you put it in a glass and you leave it, after some time the mud will settle down and the clean water will be on top of the glass. Even life can sort itself. When it's too difficult, don't kill yourself. Just let things, time will solve those problems. Sorry, I used to be a politician, so when I see people, I can talk and talk, and these days I have nobody to talk to. So forgive me if I have talked too much. Yeah, but you're welcome to join the Happiness Society, where, again, we don't have answers, but together we say we are seekers of happiness. Maybe you have ideas we don't have, but the whole idea is really an incremental process. Try to do whatever you can to make yourself happier. Thank you, and God bless you.